Hello everyone, so this is my second part of the video building an industrial sensor enhanced with GSM module. Today I will be explaining the entire coding implementation I did use for integrating the Arduino microcontroller. I will try to be as vivid and detailed as possible so that any beginner of Arduino microcontroller can implement the code. So I have used C programming language to build the entire code. If an individual has more or less a basic concept on the C programming, this code will be really easy for them. So in the very beginning we did include the header files. Liquid crystal is the header file for the LCD module. Software serial is the header file for the GSM, and finally the header file for DHT temperature is dht.h. Next, I did include the header file for I2C module as I am using a LCD display. It is important that you write the address in the bracket so that the Arduino can specify the LCD model that is being used. Then slowly it comes about defining the sensors and LEDs and other components. First I did define the DHT temperature, which is in pin 2. We need to use the define header file for DHT as temperature is not an integer value, it provides reading as float or decimal numbers. Then it comes about addressing the GSM and assign the pin for TX and RX. Be aware of not using pin 0 and pin 1, which are default TX and RX pins of Arduino, because those do not respond properly when lot of other components are integrated together with Arduino. As you can see here, our next step is defining all the pin numbers for individual sensors. Here I did use int function because I was comfortable working with that. The vibration sensor is connected to pin 8, yellow LED to pin 9, buzzer to pin 3, and so on so forth. All these pin connections are exactly in the same fashion I did implement the wiring in my previous video. Inside the void setup are the serial begin functions, which are essential for working with any GSM module, and inside it I did include the LCD backlight and LCD.int because without this the LCD was not showing any display initially, so I had to add this. Now the pin mode is used to instruct the Arduino which component will be in input and which ones will be the output of our project. Here, as you can see, this portion is completely redundant of our project which is related. I did use this particular code or this particular sentence just to check if my code is updated successfully and if it is working. It's just a rain check. If you want to, you can include it. If you don't want, it's completely fine. So inside the void loop we need to implement the main purpose of our project so that every time it checks inside the loop and it begins to continue. I did define the temperature in the very beginning as float and then proceeded using if-else function. We can also use while loop. First is the if-else case for the vibration sensor. Be careful to use equals low or equals 0, because if you use equals high or 1, the sensor will be initially active and the GSM will continuously send text which we really don't want. Next is the formatting of the GSM. AT plus CM GF means the GSM will respond in text format. All will respond as a SMS when an input is fed. AT plus CM plus GS is the sending SMS syntax. After this, we need to provide the emergency number which we want the SMS will be sent. Here you can replace your phone number. Print.in is the SMS which will be sent to a phone number through the GSM, and this same text will also be displayed inside the LCD so that the workers trapped inside can get alarm about the fire breakage. The essential aspect here is setting the delay function. I did use 500 milliseconds. You can also use 100 milliseconds, but the SMS sending response will be a bit slow in that case. Then I used the yellow LED as an indicator for vibration sensor. Whenever vibration sensor will be sensed, the yellow LED will glow and the buzzer will produce a continuous tone. Afterwards, the green LED will glow and it will glow only once, showing that the SMS is sent successfully to the designated number or to the rescue center. Exactly using this same code, I did implement the coding syntax for the other sensors. Finally, in the else section, if the situation inside the factory or industry is normal, the LCD will show system is okay. And if due to some unavoidable circumstances the temperature gets too high, and the SMS will be sent stating that the temperature is really high. For uploading the code, set the Arduino board you are using from the tools option. Here I am using the Arduino Uno, and after that always check the port the Arduino USB is inserted. It can be COM3, COM5, and it will have the Arduino Uno written inside the bracket. So this was all about my code implementation for the GSM sensor. I would encourage everyone to upgrade the code as your own wish and implement the code in your own fashion. I will be uploading the code in the video description. Thanks for watching.